Hello there, bookish friends. Rebecca here, the Dragon Librarian from Farmington Community Library. And Ling and I are here again today to talk to you about some really fantastic books that we're super excited about. And hopefully you will be excited about them as well. So since Valentine's Day was this week, as promised, this is going to be a video about some romance books. Last week we talked about some that were on the sweeter side of the romance genre. This week we will be talking about a couple books that are actually on the spicier side of romance. So that means that they contain a lot of explicit sexual content, and then that the story kind of revolves around that. And there's a lot of really good books that are spicy that are out there. It was actually kind of difficult to narrow it down to be a couple that I think are really good, like introductions to the genre, ones that are really accessible, and just super fun, right? You're not reading these books because they're going to be awarded for, Book of the Year or anything like that. You're reading them because they're fun, they're just a good time, and sometimes you just want to eat a burger rather than a really fancy steak, right? At a restaurant, sometimes you just want something simple and fun, and that's what these books are. They're simple, they're fun. If you're looking for a great escape, these romance books are perfect, absolutely perfect. So the first one I want to talk about is called King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett St. Clair. She's written another series, which is why she was on my radar, that I really enjoyed, that I'm not talking about today. I want to talk about this one specifically because it's her newest one, and it's the first one in a series. And the other really good thing that I like about this, and this is probably just me, maybe not, maybe other people feel this way too, but I sometimes can feel very uncomfortable reading romance books that are very spicy out in public. Like, if the cover is really, if it's one of those bodice ripper covers, I get very embarrassed. I'm very easily embarrassed. So reading something like that out in public I just can't do it. So when you get a book like this that has a cover that's super awesome and you really can't tell that there's a lot of sexy in here, it's great. It's a win-win for me. So what is this about? So this is one of the tropes that fits into this book is the arranged marriage trope. So basically the main character in this her name is Isolde, and she is the princess of this kingdom, and to save her kingdom, her father has agreed to marry her off to this other king that lives in a much stronger, more protected area. So she has to marry him. The downside of that is that he's a vampire and is kind of loathed. All the vampires in this world are very loathed. They're not looked on as well. So she decides, you know what? I have to do this horrible thing, but I'm going to actually try to kill my husband and murder him so I can get out of this. So her attempt goes wildly wrong because he's a vampire. Obviously, he's going to be able to thwart that attempt. And then tells her, look, you try these shenanigans again, I'm going to turn you into a vampire. So that's out of the question. So she's traveling with him, leaving her city back to his city. And as she does, she's starting to get to know him a little bit more. They're getting to know each other. She finds out he has this mysterious past, so she's trying to uncover that. And there's also the overarching story about what is going on in this world itself. There is a map which is included, which I did really appreciate. It shows Adrian's realm versus Isolde's realm, and there's all this warring and infighting and stuff. So there's a lot of really cool political aspects of this as well, but we're not going to read it for that, right? We're reading it because of the the spiciness of it. So this is a really fun book. It's a quick read. It's got vampires in it. Vampires are definitely back in. I know there was a period of time where they weren't popular anymore, but let me just tell you, they are popular again. So this book, absolutely phenomenal. I really liked it a lot, and I'm looking forward to book 2. Okay, and like I said, these books are not award-winning, best writing you've ever experienced in your life. They're just fun. Sometimes you just want to read something that's really fun. So the next one is also part of a series, and the first book is called Neon Gods by Katee Roberts. Now, I was really interested in this book because it features a Greek mythology story that I've always really been interested in, but never until recently started to really love it as much as I do, which is Hades and Persephone. So if you're familiar with the Hades and Persephone story, it's also sort of an arranged marriage sort of deal where, Hades kidnaps Persephone, which is Demeter's, the agricultural goddess's daughter. She's the goddess of spring, takes her down into the underworld with him, and for 6 months of the year, that's why we have bad weather. So that's the very, very, very generalized description of that story. So in this, it's definitely more of a modern story. So it takes place in this modern city of Olympus, where Persephone's mom has arranged a marriage for her with Hades, who she didn't even know existed. So she has to travel down into the underworld, into his city, and it's a lot of kind of the same aspect like it was in the other story we were talking about, where it's a lot of like strangers getting to know each other and kind of being drawn to each other and falling for each other. Really great book. It was definitely described by Entertainment Weekly as unspeakably hot. Yes, this is a very spicy book. I enjoyed this a lot, especially if you're a fan of Greek romance or just, modern retellings of myths. This is a really great one. On that note, the second book in the series just came out, and it's called Electric Idol. Now, here's the thing. You really do not have to read them in any kind of order. I actually read this one first because I couldn't get my hands on the first one right away. So I read Electric Idol first, and each book in the series features another mythological couple, and it retells their story. So in this one, the story is Psyche and Eros, or Cupid. So I liked this one almost as much as the other one, and I think the only reason I liked Neon Gods more was because I just love the Persephone and Hades story a little bit more. But this one was just as good. I really enjoyed this one a lot too. And if you want to start with this one, you totally can, and then hop to the other one, or just this one, or just that one. It doesn't really matter. You can read them totally out of order. Absolutely. So Electric Idol, second book in the series, also unspeakably hot according to Entertainment Weekly. Whew, so, talking about those spicy books, it's hot in here, right? So those are the books that we have for you today. I hope that they sound really interesting and give you some kind of like fun escape reading. If that's what you're looking for, they are all available from Farmington Community Library, so please feel free to check them out. And also, please give this video a like. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful rest of the day.